In today's lesson, toda kuita quadratics. Quadratics happens to be the first topic, one of the earliest topics in advanced level pure mathematics. So doing quadratics, we want to start with a quote from Giuseppe Garibaldi. It says, "A bold onset is half the battle." Saka this is a fundamental topic yamunofanirwa kubata because it makes the foundation of the study of pure mathematics. Saka quadratics adds upon quadratics dzamakaita muri ku O level. Ku O level makaita factorization of quadratic expressions, makasolva quadratic equations muchishandisa factorization. Takashandisa zvakare the quadratic formula kusolva quadratic equations. Then we went on to do the plotting of quadratic graphs and other associative topics. Saka we are going to build upon that. We are going to assume what you did in O level as assumed knowledge, but wherever it's necessary, we are going to add some explanations. This topic deals with algebraic problems in higher order power 2. Saka this statement we want to add flesh to it. Saka let us begin. Our first subtopic yamunotofanirwa kunyora in your notes is quadratic expression. We want to give definition to what it actually is. What is a quadratic expression? Saka a quadratic expression, our first note, is an algebraic expression of the highest order 2. That is. Saka definition yatapapo, it's a technical definition of what a quadratic expression is. Firstly, it's an algebraic expression. Kureva kuti tichange tine a mixture of variables, unknowns, kana kuti letters and numbers. That is what makes an algebraic expression. But this algebraic expression is of the highest order 2. Zvinoreva kuti the variable, that is the variable tinogona kuiti unknown in the expression is the highest power of 2. And kuti muzinzwisise, let us put an example. Saka we can have an example of a quadratic expression like this: x squared plus 3x minus 4. This is an example. Kana tichiti the highest order is 2, kana kuti the highest power of the unknown is 2, trikutarisa 2 uno uyu, x to the power 2. Saka kuti ive a quadratic expression kana kuti quadratic equation, inozongova equation kana tati it's equal to something. Saka patingodila expression isiri equal to anything. So if a quadratic expression tikatarisa mu quadratic expression, tinofanirwa kuwana the highest power ye unknown yedu iri 2. Saka tikatarisa ma powers are x, because unknown yedu in this example ndi x. My powers are x. The highest power ya x should be 2. Ndokuti titi tine a quadratic expression. So this is our first example. We can talk of a second example. Saka our second example would be something like this. Ngati t 2x plus 3x squared plus 8. Saka tiatarisa ma powers are x. Tona kuti power hombe ya x anenge ari 2 kureva kuti this is a quadratic expression. We can do the same tikava third example inogona kungova x to the power 2 minus 4. Kunyange iyi isina a term in x, but tikatarisa mapowers a x tinoona kuti the highest power ndi 2, kureva kuti it is still going to be a quadratic expression. So I have tried to explain to you what a quadratic expression is, and I hope you really understand what it is. In layman terms, quadratic expression kana kuti quadratic equation, tikatarisa unknown yatinayo in that particular equation, the highest power of the unknown should be 2. But tichiri panapa, it's also necessary to look at what are called forms kana kuti types of equations, and because equations are named after their highest order power. So let us go to a second subtopic. So our subtopic panapa iri kuti forms or types of equations. Tatanga nekuintroduce a quadratic expression, takuda kuchitarisa ari ma equations. So you write this in your notes, and you write the notes as they come. Saka ma subheading edu kana kuti subtopic ndenge ndakamanyora in this particular color, ma notes edu tinomanyora in white, then my illustrations tinomaita in any other color. Saka our first note kana tichitarisa forms or types of equations is this: equations are named after their highest order power. And let us give examples. Saka ma examples edu nde aya. Kana tine situation like this, ax plus b is equal to 0. This is called a linear equation. Ulinear wacho huri pakuti the highest power ya x anova unknown wedu ndi 1. 1 wacho chiro akasanyorwa asanga aripo panapa. Saka since the highest power ya x ari 1, ingechinzi a linear equation. Okay, tinobva pa linear equation tichienda pa quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Chiri kuita equation asi tambotanga ne expression kungoti equal to 0. That is what makes it an equation. This is called a quadratic equation. It's a quadratic equation. Why is it a quadratic equation? The highest power ya x anova unknown kana kuti variable ndi 2. Saka the highest power kana iri 2, tine quadratic equation. Then we go on to another family of equations. Ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d is equal to 0. These are then called cubic equations. So this is a cubic equation. Cubic uruva papi, the highest power of the unknown the 3. Saka this is what we have to know. We have a family of equations and again the highest power of 4. These are called quartile equations. We have the highest power of 5, 6, toramba tichienda up to infinity. So this is what we wanted to learn, and it is of vital importance. Saka manyorero atanga tichiita kuti ax to the power 1 plus b is equals to 0, ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0, ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d is equal to 0. Anonzi ma general forms kana kuti general expressions. Saka manyora atanga chiita apa tinogona kuwedzera this note kuti where tengeta kuti where a, b, c are coefficients. Alright, tinogona kuti where a, b, c and D are constants, and D are real numbers. Yeah, tikadai so zvonyatsokubuda. And x wacho with its different orders are variables kana kuti chi unknowns. Ndozvaitika panapa. Saka patiri kuti A, B, C and D are real numbers, angatori manhamba chaiwo. Like situation yataita patatanga kuintroduce panapa, muri kuona kuti A anenge ari coefficient wa x squared, kureva kuti in this case A ndi 1, panapa A ndi 3, apa ndi 1. Kana chiti coefficient tiri kureva kuti number iri kumultiply x squared. Saka muexample 1 ndi ari kumultiply x squared, muexample 2 3 ndi ari kumultiply x squared, muexample 3 1 ndi ari kumultiply x squared. Saka A uyu anenge ari coefficient of x squared. A ushu kuti coefficient zvinongoreva a multiplier, number iri kumultiply a variable. Tikatarisa B anenge ari coefficient wa x, kureva kuti in the first situation B ndi 3, in the second B ndi 2, then in the third B ndi 0. That's why it is torina x wacho. Then lastly C anenge ari just a constant, just a real number. In the first case -4, in the second 8, in the third -4. So this is what we are learning, dear people. It's very important to have a solid foundation of these things. So this caps and concludes our first lesson. I hope you understand the quadratic expression chi, quadratic equation chi, and I hope tadzosa mukurangarira kwenyu what you learned in your ordinary level. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask those questions. You can ask either on our comments or on our numbers. And if you also want extra lessons and to contact us, use WhatsApp on this number, +26371 521 3310. That is 071 521 3310. Thank you and take care.